to the program, the Victor Wilt Show. Happy post-Thanksgiving. Be safe out there on Black Friday. Don't be a psycho. Don't engage in behaviors that are going to endanger yourself or others. Don't be like Grandma at Thanksgiving. Yeah, a grandmother in Memphis, Tennessee. She's in jail. Man, they get to these news stories quick. Last night, stabbed both her daughter and grandson after an argument during the Thanksgiving meal. And that's a rough night when you get stabbed by grandma. You know, grandma's supposed to be, a nice old lady. Give you treats, cookies, little snacks, spoil you. Well, I guess this grandma missed the memo. Now, the article does say grandmother was drinking and possibly heavily intoxicated at the time of the incident. I'm guessing if you stab your grandson, the chances that you've been drinking, they've got to be a little bit elevated compared to, a normal day. Yeah, I get it. Kids can be annoying. They get up from the kids' table. They're making a mess, bunch of racket. I don't know how old the grandson was. The article doesn't say, but this is why you don't engage in those political or religious discussions during Thanksgiving. I don't know what the argument was about either. I'd really like to know what was the argument that led to a grandmother stabbing her daughter and grandson. I mean, politics, probably politics. Lots of articles making the rounds about, broken families this holiday season. I hope you got along with your relatives yesterday. I hope you can get along with them moving forward. I mean, at bare minimum, I hope there's no stabbings going on, all right? I got some interesting rumors floating around about the Sick New World Festival. This was announced, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And as far as I'm concerned, the lineup, absolutely incredible. The main highlight for me, obviously, being Acid Bath, this being their first show returning to the stage in 28 years. But there are rumors making the rounds that they're going to cancel Sick New World. Now, some of these rumors started popping up a few weeks ago online, just people on Reddit spreading information that they supposedly heard from people at blah, blah, blah. But now, according to an interview with Trevor Dunn, the bassist for Tomahawk on the Vinyl podcast, he says it's not happening. He says it's going to come out in the wash soon, but basically the festival is not happening. And they had a whole tour, a whole 2-week thing built around it, which they can't do now because financially it doesn't make any sense. They asked him for more information, and, if he's sure the festival is canceling, and if it had collapsed, and he said, well, I believe so. And I've erased it from my calendar, so I'm not going. Well, anyway, this is just the rumor mill, okay? Far as I know, there's no official information that this is accurate anywhere. But that'd be a real bummer for people who dropped a minimum of $400 on tickets, not to mention any air travel or hotel expenses. Hopefully, those could be recouped by people if it is canceled. That's a real bummer if it does end up getting canceled. Because Acid Bath needs the money. We need to pay them so they can get back out on the road and come to more cities than just Las Vegas. And Cleveland? Is that where Sonic Temple's happening? Anyway, I'll keep you updated if I hear any new solid info on this, but seems like it would be quite the thing to cancel. Why not before canceling? Try doing some Black Friday ticket sales deals or something. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't give up so easy. Did any of you go have Thanksgiving dinner in Utah? You got family down there and journeyed down to enjoy a nice meal with them? Well, I hope they didn't brine their turkey in the Great Salt Lake. Looks like Utah officials had to send out a warning to people in that state to stop brining turkeys in the Great Salt Lake. I guess they found one that had been left behind and are just making the assumption, basically, that people are brining their turkeys in the Great Salt Lake. Now, what brining is, if you're not familiar, you take some meat, and you soak it in a salt and water solution. Kind of helps season things up and tenderize and blah, blah, blah. Now, the Great Salt Lake is salt water, but it also has a lot of other things going on that you don't want to probably eat something that's been soaking in it. Even though maybe it would end up fine. Maybe you'd be okay. But there are, things like, what did they say here? Arsenic, stuff like that in the soil of the Great Salt Lake. Yeah, just get yourself a nice bucket and some regular old salt and water and do it that way. Yeah, they got sulfur, all kinds of other stuff going on in that water that would potentially make Grandpa not feel very great at the end of the Thanksgiving meal. So just a fair warning, do it the old-fashioned way. It seems like it would be a lot of work to drag a turkey out to the Great Salt Lake anyway. I don't know if this is actually happening. I think they just found a turkey and were like, oh, everybody's doing this. Just making assumptions, but it is Utah, so who knows? People do weird things there. I hope your Thanksgiving went well. Sorry you're awake right now, unless you're out enjoying some Black Friday mayhem. If so, be a calm, rational human being. Do things even get out of control like they used to with Black Friday? I think basically for the last 2 weeks, we've had Black Friday sales happening online. I don't think as many people go out in public, not near as many, go out in public early on the Friday after Thanksgiving to shop in person. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't drive by Walmart today, so I don't know. Maybe it's complete chaos out there. But on my way to work, the roads were pretty quiet. It was much quieter than usual on my way in here at the god-awful hour I have to show up every day. But, I hope that your Thanksgiving went good. Nobody ruined it for you. I was reading a story about it. This family, they're just enjoying their meal, and they start seeing cop cars go by. So they go outside to see what's going on. And so you got a guy spilling out of a house followed by about 10 family members, all of them just screaming at him. And cops are trying to arrest this guy for something or other. Then some of the family members started trying to fight the guy, got physical, so they all got arrested too. And by the time this event was done, there were about 5 or 6 police cars and as many family members in cuffs. If one family member ends up in cuffs at Thanksgiving dinner, that's a bad night, It's a bad night that nobody's going to forget. But when 6 of you end up heading to jail, well, I guess it's pretty much the same boat. And then you're stuck with them in the holding cell, been fighting with your family members. I don't think they're going to, separate you, right? They're going to handcuff you and make you sit there and put up with the people that, you've been fighting with and led to you getting dragged into the old slammer there on Thanksgiving night. So, I hope your Thanksgiving was, I don't want to say uneventful, but I hope it was mellow. Mine was very chill, very chill. Watched about half of the new season of the TV show From, and it was a very, very relaxing day. Very nice and just chill. I even did some chores. It was it was probably the most relaxing Thanksgiving day I've ever had. So it was pretty nice. The only problem was that I was an idiot and didn't take today off work. What am I doing here? Everybody's supposed to be sleeping in today. Yeah? I could have, but oh well. Oh, well, I'll make a paycheck, I guess. All right, I've talked plenty about talking about something and then my social media feeds just pummeling me with things relating to that. You know, like I start watching the X-Files. All of a sudden, the X-Files subreddits. Yeah, every post coming my way. This one, I don't know why I keep seeing it, but that song we just heard, which if you're listening on demand, was Soundgarden Spoon Man, reminded me, I keep getting posts about cookie cutters. Yeah, now, if you need to figure out what cookie cutter you have, this is a good subreddit for you. What is my cookie cutter? But for most people, you just sit here and go, why do I keep getting images of cookie cutters and people asking, what are they? And then people Photoshop in what they think said cookie cutter was. I don't recall using the phrase cookie cutter. We have talked about cookies, huh? I think I said on air with Peaches recently, I like cookies. Is that why? Is that why I'm getting these posts? Anyway, there's something for everybody online, I guess. You know, if you've got that drawer full of grandma's cookie cutters, you've been trying to figure out what they are just in time for Christmas. Well, I just made your day, and now I'm really going to get pummeled with these posts since I talked about the subreddit. But, you know, again, just throwing out there the type of things that pop up on my feed. Everybody's feed's a little bit different. Apparently, I'm supposed to get into baking.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Oh no, metal was on TV. Oh, what are we going to do? Yeah, Knocked Loose was on Jimmy Kimmel Live the other night. Great performance with Poppy. And metalheads everywhere rejoicing at the fact that Jimmy Kimmel would bring in one of the most crushing bands out there today to perform live for everyone to see. All right, this is great for metal. Not so great for people who don't like metal. You know, people with terrible taste in music. For example, this person that posted, you know, I was just trying to enjoy the program, sitting on the couch with my son who is an adolescent, waiting to see the musical guest because we like the nice music the show usually books. By the third or fourth junt from the guitars, my son was in tears. He doesn't like scary things, and quite frankly, I think the Kimmel Show and its staff should make a formal apology. All right, you know, I don't want to make fun of children here, but if your kid hears some metal and starts crying, kid needs to man up. My kids, when they hear metal, they tell me it's like a lullaby to them because they've heard it since they were little. So when they hear metal, it's very relaxing to them. And, you know, they kind of want to just curl up and take a nap. That's how it works for me, too. Yeah. Another person posted, how do I sing along with this? Sounds just like a screaming frenzy to me, actually starting to hurt my ears. People who listen to this have no room to complain about crying babies or screaming 2-year-olds taking a tantrum. Ha ha, unreal. They call this music? All right, if you can't sing along with Knocked Loose, you're just not trying hard enough. That's what I say. What's up with these people that can't handle metal? I would like to offer up a formal complaint about this musical performance. It scared my children. Jeez. Get over it. This is great. I mean, that kid's probably going to grow up now and have fantastic taste in music. You know, I think that every child should watch the Knocked Loose / Poppy performance that was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Show it to your kids. It's good for their minds. I don't know. I guess some people have just never heard heavy music. It's not like it was that crazy. Jeez. So anyway, we probably won't be seeing any metal on any of these late night shows anytime soon, even though they should take note and notice, oh, this got people talking. When's the last time you heard about any other musical guest on Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, no, nobody cares. Freak news, powered by Grease Monkey, voted Idaho's best oil change. Why can't I have this kind of luck? You know, maybe I'll go buy a lottery ticket after work today. Even though I didn't get called into work today, I feel like something unfortunate has happened to me by being here, though it was my own fault. Yeah, wake up this morning, I'm like, what are you doing? Why didn't you take today off? What kind of idiot are you? Well, I'm kind of dumb. So anyhow, there was a woman who got called into Walmart on her day off, decided, oh, geez, this is unlucky. I had fun plans today. I guess I'll buy a lotto ticket. How much money here? Was it just $1 million? Yeah, $1 million prize. The article said she left work a millionaire. They got the vending machines that you can buy lotto tickets out of right by the doors. Well, apparently she got one on her way out. $10 ticket, won $1 million. I mean, I'd be happy if I won $5. So, maybe I'll go pick up a Powerball or Mega Millions and I'll strike it rich and then you'll never hear from me again. Yeah, I don't got that kind of luck. What else do we have going on here? Have you seen the new mail trucks? I don't think we have these around here yet, but they're going to be sending out new postal delivery service vehicles, and they kind of look strange. People say they look like a duck. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could see that. What I found interesting about the article I was reading, and I don't know if this is the case everywhere, but at least for this guy, Richard Burton in Georgia, he worked for the post office for almost 20 years now, and his mail truck that he drove all those years, no AC, in humid, hot Georgia. Yeah. Oh, it'd be terrible. So the new vehicles, they have this breakthrough new technology called air conditioning. Jeez. All right, new respect for postal workers. You've been driving around with no AC, lugging everybody's heavy packages and this and that for all these years. Shout out to our listener, the postman, doing the big work. I hope they get you a new postal truck soon. All right, what else do we have here? Most hotel guests this season will be people making six-figure incomes. Yeah, no kidding. I don't think that's just this holiday season. I think that's in general. Tried getting a hotel recently? Yeah. Remember when hotels were a decent deal? Pepperidge Farm, remembers? Yeah, I think most people doing holiday travel at all this season going to have to be making that six-figure income. I'd love to go on vacation, but yeah, that whole getting ahead thing, yeah, it's a little bit tough in this day and age, isn't it? Need to get myself a roommate. All right. Finally, there was a guy who bled to death after being scratched by his cat. If you have issues with blood clotting, you should probably not have a cat. All right. Sometimes they snap and they bite you or scratch you. Yeah, if your blood just pours out of you when you get a little scratch. I know kitties are fun to have around, but I don't know. I guess I've talked before about all the ways I would not want to go. Getting eaten by a bear, K-Bear, DJ, getting eaten by a bear. I think if I got killed by one of my cats, I'd be okay with that. A little cat scratch and then I'm dead. I don't know. It'd be a way to go that's appropriate for a crazy cat guy. So, anyway, just be careful. Cats can mess you up. Freak news, powered by Grease Monkey, voted Idaho's best oil change. Well, speaking of bad guys, this guy, he needs a new hobby. Jeez. This was in Japan. 37-year-old guy arrested on suspicion of trespassing. Yeah, he's been arrested more than 1,000 times for home intrusions. More than 1,000 times. Or at least he told police at bare minimum. He's broke into over 1,000 homes. Says it's his hobby. I like it. It's fun. It's exciting. Wondering if I'll get spotted. He just loves trespassing. Well, it's a good way to end up in a place where well, you're going to have a hard time breaking into anything. Maybe this is the perfect place for this guy, jail. He likes breaking into stuff. Give him a chance to break out of something, you know? Lots of great hobbies you could engage in. You know, get yourself a guitar. I don't know. Find some friends, play some board games. Read a good book. I don't know, get into gardening. If your hobby's going to lead to you being thrown in jail for a long time, you probably got to mix it up a bit, all right? I'm sure you've got family and friends who could recommend some fun activities for you. It's fun and exciting. I don't know how many guns they have in Japan, but this is not a hobby that you want to give a whirl in the U.S., okay? All it takes is walking that one wrong door. Yeah. Anyway, just letting you know, some people have worse habits than you. Yeah, making you feel better that you got to be up this early on a Friday. All right, let's talk about fashion. Orca fashion. Yeah, did you know that orcas, got a keen fashion sense? They like wearing hats. Mm-hmm. Salmon hats. Dead fish that they, I guess, swim around with on their head. It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. But it's good to know that we're not the only species that trends, tend to come and go in cycles, Peaches.
Sure.
Orcas wearing salmon hats. It's back, dude.
Oh, nice.
For the first time in 40 years.
Okay.
They're wearing dead salmon on their heads again.
That's awesome.
As they, I guess, find boats to smash into oblivion and sink.
Are they baiting boats? Like, are they showing, like, dead fish on the surface to the fishermen on the boats? And they're like, oh, sweet fish. And then the whale just comes up and goes, gotcha.
That
and knocks
could
the
be
boat
it.
over.
That could be it.
Whales are incredibly smart.
Oh, yeah, dude. Orcas, man, they're incredibly intelligent. So I don't know what the, goal they're trying to reach with the salmon hats is, other than looking super classy. But, it's just kind of like my kids, They started wearing all my clothes. There's that song, Thrift Shop.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Orcas, no different than people, man. Just kind of like how metal's coming back, getting bigger, like it was back in the late 90s. I just like to see these trends coming back around. Now we just need people to start wearing salmon hats.
I mean,
Peaches,
come up with your own line. I don't know.
Well, all you got to do is go to Winco.
Wear the salmon fillets on your head?
Yeah. Just slap it on there.
That's not the full fish. That's just a salmon fillet.
Maybe we need a trip to Seattle. Something like that. Go
San
to the
Francisco. Yeah, something. Yeah, okay.
Any of these coastal places where you might be able to pick up a full-on salmon. Now, the spiny scales might be a little bit uncomfortable. So,
how about you go for like a swordfish?
Swordfish.
You have the giant, sword pointing out front. You can run around.
That's more metal than salmon.
Joust your friends by running at each other.
If orcas really want to kick it up a notch, that's what you do. You strap the head of a swordfish to your head. And then you're an orca with a sword.
They can start imitating narwhals. Look at me, I got a horn in my head.
What are you doing awake right now? You stuck headed to work like me? Yeah, I'm here doing it live. Should have taken the day off, but you never think of these things till 4:45 rolls around and you're like, oh, it's just one day of PTO. What am I doing? Maybe you're out Black Friday shopping. Any good deals? Any good deals going on? I pretty much got the shopping for my kids done, so that's good. I don't got a lot of people these days that I need to buy gifts for. So the holidays get to being a little bit weird as you get older. Both of my kids have moved out, living in other states, doing the adulting thing. My parents have passed away. My brother and sister, they live in Minnesota. I'll probably get them something, but just pretty much need to figure out something good for my lady. And that's about it. Maybe if I want to get a little something for the fellow employees, that'd probably be a nice thing to do, but haven't spotted anything super fun yet. Still got, almost a month, but all of the deals on stuff I seem to be finding, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. I would like that. Yeah, saw some good video game deals. Gamestop doing a buy two, get one free on used video games. The Last of Us Part 1, I was looking at that. I almost put it in the cart. I'm like, dude, you don't need to buy yourself more crap, dude. Stop it. Buy something for somebody else. So, glance through the fat kid deals on Twitter. It's the name of the page, okay? It's not like candy or something. It's a page called Fat Kid Deals, and there's generally really good sales there that are noted. Anyway, nothing. Not finding anything great for the people I need to buy stuff for, so... it's sort of show prep. I talked to you about a good deal on video games I found. If you have tons of money, there's deals on things like PlayStation 5s and blah, 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 TVs. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of glad I'm at the point where I don't really need anything. I think I've got everything I need in life. So I need to find motivation. That's what I need. Can't buy that. Well, I just saw a meme that I shared on the K-Bear Facebook page that bummed me out, but it's just something we're all going to have to face. It was regarding snow and how to shovel your driveway properly. Now, you might think, what do you mean, how to shovel my driveway properly? How hard could it be? Well, you can make it a lot harder on yourself than you need to be. If you don't know how to properly shovel your driveway, this is the way that made the most sense to me over the years, as someone who's had to deal with this. You shovel a line right down the middle, and then you push everything from the middle off to the sides. Because I don't know if you've ever tried going all the way across the driveway or all the way from one end to the other. It sucks. All right, that stuff piles up. It's very heavy. So I tend to book it down the middle of the driveway and then just quickly, clear off everything to the side, and it works pretty good. I take the same route with a snowblower as well. Now that's the real way. The proper way to deal with snow is fork over the dough and get a snowblower. I got extremely lucky that my friend JD sold me one for really cheap. Because they can be very expensive. I recommend getting a gas-powered one. Sometimes we get snowfall that's just maybe a little bit too brutal for an electric snowblower. And again, I know they're expensive, but keep an eye on Facebook Market, things like that. I cannot imagine living without a snowblower ever again. And I tried to remind myself about this earlier in the week to get out to my garage, fire it up, make sure it's working. Perhaps I'll remember to do that after work today. But I know it's going to happen soon enough that we're going to get pummeled with snow. And I tell you, if that thing ain't working, I'm going to be really mad. So wish me luck on both remembering and motivating myself to get out in the cold and deal with that, since it's 20 degrees outside. Oh, it sucks out there. When's the last time you heard anybody give a crap about a musical performance on a late night talk show? Yeah, it's been a while, because these are generally pretty uneventful. But when you get an extremely heavy metal band like Knocked Loose to perform on Jimmy Kimmel Live, well, metalheads are going to celebrate, because this is a good thing for metal, getting some exposure in mainstream media. But the regular viewers, many of them have apparently never seen any kind of band like Knocked Loose before. So the performance happened with Poppy Tuesday night, and I watched it. It was great. It was great. Very killer live performance. Awesome seeing that on broadcast television. But man, some of these commenters who are just trying to enjoy their Jimmy Kimmel Live with their kids, who's staying up on a Tuesday night with their kids till the time that Jimmy Kimmel's on? This person wrote, I was trying to enjoy the program. I was sitting on the couch with my son, who's an adolescent. They put that in all caps, oh, kids, they can't be exposed to this kind of music. So my son, who's an adolescent, wanting to see the musical guest, because we like the nice music the show usually books. By the third or fourth junt, my son was in tears. Dad, what is this? Oh, what are these scary sounds? And like I said earlier this morning, I don't want to poke fun at children, but if your kid cries when they hear a metal song, I don't know, they're going to have a tough time in life when they face some real problems. I don't know. I think if your kids are afraid of metal, you raised them wrong. That's what I think. Metal is not scary, all right? Want to remind everybody that the nicest people I know, the friendliest crowds at any shows I go to, always metal people. Metal people are a bunch of nerds. And now there's, bad apples in every bunch. Sure, you can find any group and go, yeah, there's a few turds in that. But metalheads, ask any venue that holds shows for all different genres. They'll tell you, metalheads, the nicest, the worst crowds, country music fans. The end. What am I supposed to tell my kids when they see scary music like this? You tell them, you see that? That's some crushing riffage right there, boy. That's awesome. Here's how you headbang. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that people are upset about this because it's giving the performance more press. Yeah. This news article about people being upset at the Jimmy Kimmel show for having Knocked Loose on. These articles are all over the place. And articles about metal making people cry, I think that's ultimately good for metal too. Get over it. Oh, this isn't real music. No. Anybody can just get up and scream and yell. No, they can't. No, they can't. Yeah, this one person said, anybody can get up and scream like that for money. Yeah? All right, let's see you do it. All right? As someone who has been the front man of a metal band, I will tell you that screaming on stage for an hour straight, it's extremely exhausting, takes a lot of skill. No, not just anybody can get up and do it, or everyone would be the front man of a metal band. Because it's fun. It's fun, it's fulfilling, it gets a little bit of that rage out, but it is exhausting. So exhausting, and it's a talent you have to learn, all right? No, not just anyone can get up and do it. Cry babies, man. Metal, oh. Props to Poppy and Knocked Loose. And if you're getting people raising a ruckus that your performance was too metal, you're doing it right. We got Peaches in the house. Happy post-Thanksgiving Peaches.
That's right. Happy Brown/Black Friday.
Yes, depending on how much you ate, how the pipes at home are doing, it could be a Brown Friday.
Right, yeah.
Plumbers loving it, making the big bucks.
Shout out to the plumbers tuning in right now. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody tuning in. We're thankful for you. That's right.
I found this list here from Ranker, the most hated TV characters of all time.
I think I might have actually seen this earlier.
The post with the lady on the cover there.
From The Sopranos. I saw that post. She came in at what, number 8?
Yeah. Livia Soprano, number 8.
Tony Soprano's mom. And, I find her to be a hilarious and one of my favorite characters from that show, but I could see why people hate her. For sure. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen that show, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I don't want to do any spoilers. I mean, it's a must-watch show. It's great.
But the top 3 characters were from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, all 3 of them. And, I mean, when I think back to characters that I just could not wait to die on a show, and I guess we could be getting into spoilers here, so maybe we shouldn't say who these people are.
But the weirdest one on this list that shocked me, Caillou at number 9.
Caillou.
The bald kid.
Little bald kid in a cartoon?
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of people hate him. Huh. And I used to love that show as a kid.
That one I never watched. I think it was after my time. But, do you know any reason that people hate that character so much?
Maybe because he threw tantrums on the show or something.
People don't like tantrums.
Yeah,
tantrums
reminded parents about their kids, maybe. I don't know. It's a kids show, so maybe their kids are watching it. Maybe Caillou's influencing them to throw tantrums.
Yeah.
Something like that.
If I watched a show and it encouraged that kind of behavior, I would hate it too.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes a screaming child. You want them to behave.
Yeah, usually kids programming the most annoying, most repetitive stuff. Like, you got to make it at least entertaining.
Oh, yeah. When my kids were little, Dora the Explorer, that was their, favorite when they were really, really little. So once I got them watching Invader Zim, I was like, oh, this is great. This is so great. Then once they got old enough to do Beavis and Butthead, it was on. It's like, all right. But that's teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I wasn't allowed to watch that stuff when I was 13. Just my mom didn't like it, so I'd hit the previous channel button. I'd be watching Family Guy, hit the previous channel, go right to Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that's what you had to do. It's what you had to do to get away with it. I mean, luckily I had pretty cool parents. They let me watch pretty much almost anything. They'd rent horror movies for me if I asked. Back then, we'd go to these places called video stores.
I went to them.
Okay.
I went to Movie Town.
All right.
I told you that many times. I watched old wrestling on
VHS
VHS
tapes. Right. That's right. And so back then you could have your parents go in and, put on the account that you're allowed to rent R-rated movies and things like that. It's like what you have to do at the library now. Have your parents.
Full circle.
Yeah, you never thought it would circle back to books. You could watch anything you want on YouTube. I mean, I saw some really vile content on YouTube yesterday that blew my mind. I mean, even watching, I've been rewatching The X-Files, the whole series.
Right.
Some of the gore in that show, and it was on regular TV, during the afternoon. Just regular old broadcast TV. Some of the things I've seen on that are more disturbing than moments in R-rated horror movies. It's pretty crazy, So, I don't know, it'll never cease to amaze me, the things people are worried about when the kids have access to just about anything they could imagine on their phones.
When you have the iPad kid at the dining room table, he has unlimited access to a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can say you locked it down, but those kids will find a way around.
Exactly. As a parent, someone who tried to lock down my kids' stuff. There's no way to lock down everything.
And like I've said many times, is that if you're one of those people that says, hey, don't watch this, don't read this, what's that kid going to do?
Immediately. Whenever I heard this movie so horrible you should never see it, that was the movie that went to the top of my must-watch list.
Yeah.
When I was a young person and it was these books, these horror novels, these are violent and scary and you shouldn't read them. I gotta get them. I can't wait to get my hands on these.
But what character do you hate the most from any TV show or movie?
Well, when I started thinking about it, like I almost said, the person who's at number one, that's one of the most hateable characters I've ever seen in any show. Yeah, and I think he was so hated that the kid who played that character, I don't think he's really done anything since.
No, he hasn't.
He did such a good job because he was, I can't think of anybody I'd put further up on the list.
Did you see who number 5 was from Breaking Bad?
Todd?
Yeah, who's Todd from Breaking Bad?
Todd, okay. You've seen the show, right?
It's been a long time.
Okay, Todd was he was the young guy with the Nazi bikers.
Okay.
And I don't want to give any spoilers on that show just because it's so, if people haven't seen it, they should watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's Todd. I turned the mics off for a second and yelled at Peaches. I think that scene's probably why he's one of the most hated people on
I can't wait to bleep that out on the YouTube short.
It'll be silent.
Oh, it will?
Yeah, because I turned the mics off.
Oh, lip readers will have a fun time with that one.
My mouth's probably blocked by the muff.
By the muff. Yeah, we're all good.
No reading these lips, people. None of that. Thank you again for tuning in to the Victor Welch Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.